Hey, how we all doing? Welcome back to stream. What's going on? Thank you for joining us again today. It is great to see you all back, and we will get going now. But of course, it is Wednesday, so I do have my good friend, Mr. Saver Crypto on us. How we doing, mate? Can you? Oh, hang on. There you go. You should be good now, mate. Are you? There you go. Are you with us?
Hi there. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, nice to be here again, and yeah, hope you're all doing well and making lots of money.
SMFC says, TF, is this music? It's the intro that Saber Crypto made. I like it. I think it sounds really funky. He says, sounds like an alien is in my living room.
Good. I
think it's really funky. I like it, me. I think it gives like a real like. Oh, it's techno, isn't it? Is that what it is? Is that the brand of music, or is it? What is it? What would it be described as? Save. You with us? Is he there? Hello? Hello? I think he might have gone. Are you with us? Are you back?
With me?
Yeah.
I thought you'd gone.
No, I thought you'd gone. I don't know what happened then. Let us know in the let us know in the chat. Let us know in the chat. Anyway, I don't know. We should be back now. So yeah, what type of music is it, mate?
Don't know really. I suppose it was.
It sounds like a bit. I don't know. Like I always imagine like that's what it would be like if you're in like some European nightclub at like 5 a.m. or something, and you're just like dancing away.
Yeah, I mean, at the time I was into like Aphex Twin and kind of weird sort of ambient stuff, so that was the kind of idea. But obviously it's got a bit of drum and bass type sort of chopped up break beats and stuff in it. So I don't know really. It was a bit eclectic. Anyway, Stephen UK, I'm not telling you the name of my band.
Go on.
No, I don't want to dox myself. But I think I might bring out an album, just say it's by SWC, which can be sounds with.
That's true. That actually, I didn't think about that. Yeah, if you tell everyone the name of your band, then obviously, like, it probably won't be too hard to find who you are, will it?
I know, which is why I'm quite limited on the tunes I can put out there, because they have to be ones that I haven't released,
Yeah. Loki, how we doing? BPN says, what's going to be the bad news for my Bitcoin to dip? Well, we will take a look. It's not necessarily bad news. I think we're just going to look at, obviously, how Bitcoin has performed over the summer in previous years and see if we can kind of find any sort of theme. Obviously, the typical stances are boring summer and stuff like that in it. But I do remember a couple of years when Bitcoin has performed well over summer. So we'll take a look and see what the keen trend is over summer. But just remember, there doesn't always need to be news to drive price. Obviously, we are in a bit of a headlines market in it, but we don't always need news to drive price. Bitcoin will go where it needs to source liquidity, won't it? So we don't always have to have news for reasoning for a pump or a dip. Sounds like an electro band, Avico, apparently, says Pellin. So there we go. And BPN says, hot summer, I just want a dip before we rip. Well, there we go, mate. We'll definitely take a look at that. Do make sure you all drop a like on the stream if you haven't already. Get those likes in. If you're watching over on X, make sure you do follow the Stonksy account as well if you're not already. If you've came from TMG's account on his feed, make sure you click on the Stonksy page, give it a follow. And, of course, do hop over to the YouTube as well. The link is in the description there. And do subscribe, because we are slowly creeping towards 2,500 subscribers. So it'd be great if you could help me get there a little bit quicker. But we're on 3 likes. Come on, guys. What is going on here? What is going on? We're on 19 viewers on YouTube and 3 likes. So everyone take a second to go and fix that. Let's go and drop a like on the stream. We should get this up to easy over 15 likes within the next couple of minutes. Scroll down, hit like. It only takes a second, and we'll get going. But obviously, since we last saw Save, it was last Wednesday. So, mate, what have you been up to over the past week?
Actually, before I say anything, is the audio okay now? Because I'll tell you what I've been doing is I did back up a load of stuff from my Google Photos, and I don't know if that's still going on. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine. It was just that little bit at the start.
Oh, okay.
Apart from that, I don't think you've dipped out.
Okay. If it does something weird, then it should stop in a minute. It was I basically got this message saying that your emails are going to stop on June the 26th unless you clear off some of your thing, So I was using like 15 gig of me Google Drive, but it was mostly like 5 videos that were enormous.
Right. Okay.
Off me GoPro, So I'm just, well, I started downloading them, but I've got a feeling they're still downloading, which might be causing a problem. Anyway, it should fix itself in a minute. What I've been doing, I've still got, I've still got the big Bybit Bitcoin trade open from April, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was April. Yeah. But I've been taking profit,
Which is
and
pretty crazy, isn't it? Like, it's gone really fast. Like, it doesn't seem that long ago when we was down in the 80Ks.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I have been sort of, on the high bits, I've been taking out a little bit of profit, and then when there's been a dip, I've been putting it back in. So I've kind of ruined the entry a bit. Entry's more like 101 now, but it's still nice and far away that I can sleep at night. So
yeah,
so that's good. Yes, well, I also had a little Ethereum trade open already from like last week. So it's nice to see it pump a little bit yesterday. And I did watch Block Pro's show yesterday on cryptosavingexpert.com. And he was talking about Ethereum, and I started looking at it, and he was talking about actually, do you want to get an Ethereum chart up, and then I can?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I can
go on, share Block Pro's wisdom. For those of you that don't know, Block Pro is the master trader that puts on trading classes and what would you call them? Like one-to-one trading in CSE Plus Premium. So yeah, he's an absolutely superb trader, real master of the art of the what am I trying to say here? Of the trade, that's it. A real master of the trade, and yeah, his ability to read the market is super. So yeah, go on, mate, carry on.
He's also Dutch, and he's got the driest sense of humor in the world. I quite like it, actually. It's quite.
I think that's just like a common theme throughout Dutch people, isn't it? Really? Yeah, like they typically do have like a very dry, funny sense of humor.
Yeah, it's almost cruel in a way. He kind of he likes watching people getting liquidated and stuff.
Yeah.
But obviously, that's what his style's all about. Is like when people are getting liquidated, he's doing his entry, isn't he? He is their liquidation level. So anyway,
it is often the best place to enter a trade. When people are getting blown out and liquidated, and the market is sourcing one side of liquidity, that is often the best place to enter, because the likelihood is that the move is then becoming exhausted.
Absolutely is, yeah. And that blood in the streets and whatever that thing that people say is very, very true. And I mean, how many times have you been in a situation where, like, you've been hanging on to a trade that wasn't looking very good, and all of a sudden something happened, the market goes south, and you get stuck in a long, and then you have to decide what to do, and you usually end up making a great big loss. Meanwhile, there's people like Block Pro coming along and going, "Ha, I shall just take that," and and in he goes, and then he creates the best trade of his life, every week. And anyway, so the level he was talking about that we need to get above for Ethereum was 2661, and we are very close to there at the moment. And as you will see, is that the 5 minute you've got up there? Yeah, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
Right, so that's 5 minutes. Now that's just gone green. Not only did it go green, it went green with a little triangle almost at the same time. Which, as we know from what we've been banging on about for the last few weeks, is quite a bullish sign. Yeah.
So that's on the 5. Let's see the 6.
So what I've been doing, I've been trying to sort of like wangle my way into a little bit of a long, lower than 2661, which is a stupid thing to do because I've basically been longing at resistance, But the idea is, if we get a little pump, that resistance will become support, and then hopefully I'll be at the bottom as it goes up towards, I don't know, 3,000 or whatever. So that's my plan anyway with Ethereum. So that's what I'm doing. So mainly just been trading Bitcoin and Ethereum. My other big position was on BitGet. I did actually close that one, and that was good. I closed that yesterday when we got up to like 111k. So that was good.
Yeah, I mean, we've been in this range now on Ethereum for 18 days, so nearly 3 weeks. Obviously, after the big, what did we pump in the end there? So obviously, from the bottom of that day to the top, in the end, it was a 50% pump, obviously, but that is from the bottom tick to the top. If you got out anywhere in the middle of this range, that would have been 40%. Obviously, only accounted for there as well. If you was really putting your conviction in down here, where around it bottoms, that's 62% from anywhere around these daily candles up towards the middle of this. So but it has definitely been having some cool off time, hasn't it, Ethereum? So it is probably approaching the time maybe where it is due to exit this range after nearly 3 weeks. So you may be right, mate. I mean, what I was looking at was I was definitely looking at this region here. If it was to escape here, up into here to come into obviously clearing liquidity above here, and then obviously we've got up towards here, which is 2,900. But the main one I've been looking at is up towards 3,300 is what if we can come into this range and then not run out of steam there, I think that is a really key level to watch potentially.
Right.
But until then, like you say, we've got to break through this resistance, haven't we?
Yeah. So that's what I'm looking at. Obviously seeing the 5-minute green on Stonksy has been good. What I keep meaning to do is to have a proper look at that strategy that SMFC was talking about in the Discord, because I know Jeff, is it Jeff in the States, isn't it?
Yes.
Because Jeff's been like killing it, hasn't he, with doing whatever SMFC was talking about. I think it was using the channel bands, but anyway, I keep meaning to do that, but I get distracted anyway. But it's all good. I also sold some Google stock last night as well that I've been hanging on to for a little bit. And I can't remember when I bought it, but I bought it when Google crashed a bit for some reason. I can't remember why that was now.
Yeah, it was. It was something. What was it now?
Oh, what wasn't it when?
Oh, it was Apple was going to do something. I think they were the Apple was doing something. I can't remember what it was that caused it, but I think it was something to do with Apple. Was going to put something into Safari or something. I can't remember.
Anyway, so I bought a load of Google stock then when it crashed. I could have got it cheaper actually, but I actually sold it last night at 173, I think it was. And I think I was playing with about $7,000, and I made $1.5 out of that. So that was cool. So that was nice. What else have I been doing? That's it mainly. How about you? You've been fixing your chair?
It's broke. I don't know if you can see, because I think the oh no, you can just about probably see it there. If I put it like there, there's the screw. And I was thinking I might actually fix it live today on stream. I can go and get my Allen key, because obviously we've still got an hour and 10 minutes. I was thinking at some point for a bit of entertainment, I could get my Allen key and I could fix it once and for all on stream with you. That'd be pretty epic, wouldn't it? But before we do any of that funny business and entertainment, do make sure you drop a like on the stream. We're at 23 viewers and 5 likes. What's going on today? We are very much low down on the like, so please do take a second, scroll down and drop a like. Come on, up. Get them up, get up the likes. And of course, if you're new here, do subscribe. If you're watching over on X, make sure you're following the Stonksy page if you've come from TMG's feed. And hop over to the YouTube to drop us a subscribe on there. We are slowly making our way towards 2,500 subscribers. But I'm getting a little bit of a pump on Ethereum here. Obviously not in too much, but it's coming in a little bit, mate. So that's good news for you. We have Steve saying Block Pro stories are amazing. I could listen for hours. Wiz, how we doing, mate? Great to see Wiz in the chat. How are you? Apple putting AI into Safari search. Yeah, that was it. Google at 100, wasn't it? I don't think it went down to 100. No, I think it went down to was it like 140 or something? Was it? It went down to, where is it? Google. And we may as well look at what everything is doing pre-market while we're here.
Yeah, I think I got it at like 140 or something.
Yeah, it went to the bottom.
Go lower.
Yeah, the bottom tick was actually around about 140. That was a good guess.
But yeah, so that was good. Yeah, I'm just doing that on trading 2-on-2, which is I'm not doing any leverage. I'm just sort of buying and selling really. So I've actually got my 20 grand ISA, stocks ISA on there. I've got that up to 23 grand now since April. So that's been quite cool. Very nice, mate. Very nice. Some good trading. So Google is up a little bit pre-market. Let's see what else. Tesla, obviously up nearly 7% yesterday, is up another couple of points today. I think it looks like the trend is that everything is up, albeit maybe small on some. Meta is actually pretty much break even. Apple is up a little bit again, and Nvidia is up not much, about $1. But everything is up, and that is obviously reflected in the SPX rallying since yesterday's close, I think. Yeah, a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. So yeah, that's where we're at over there. I think in altcoins, we've not had anything too major. We will run through the list shortly. I can see one outlier, though, that has had a huge pump today. I don't know if anyone caught it then, but we'll make our way down in a second. But we have got ETH, just really rallying on. Obviously, Stonksy is still green on the hourly from yesterday too. And we did come up yesterday and apply pressure to this resistance zone again. So it looks like it maybe is only a matter of time before price starts exploring above this resistance zone. As you can see, we've hit it once, twice, 3 times now. And price is heading there again. So do we get a pop today? That would be nice. Did you say that you're fully loaded into that trade, mate, or are you still looking to add more if you can? Well, I'm doing it in my usual style. I'm doing it on about 3 exchanges, aren't I? So,
of course.
So I've got a bit get one here that's long from 20. That's long from 26.50. That's not a very good entry, but that one's actually quite a big position. So that's $240 in profit now, 4%. Since the start of the show. So that's good. I've got a little one on a funny exchange I won't mention, which is 9% in profit, $55. And I've actually got the one I've got on Bybit that I've had open for a few days now. That's only a 5x one, so that's 18% in profit, $96. So I'm a few hundred up.
Yeah, very nice, mate. Very nice.
Which is nice.
What's going on with altcoins? BNB is up nicely. Really nice call on Stonksy from Monday. That is up just over 2% from open, which altcoins haven't really done much this week alongside, Bitcoin's not really done much either. So the fact that some are up is obviously still good. TRX is up, but the main one I can see on the list, like you see a lot of these, Sui's bounced nicely. This is the zone where we drew last week for Sui to come into. And that's up, 7, 8, 9%, depending on where you got in. But that is a perfect touch into that box where we was looking at. But this one is what has happened with Ton. Does anyone know is there any news on Ton or anything? But that is up 17% today. Or is it just sheer it's catching up? Because if we do go and look at Ton on the daily, where Bitcoin bottomed out, so Ton obviously didn't come back down and go further, but where Bitcoin bottomed out here, Ton was really pretty much just around the same level. But today, you can see the size of the daily candle, it's pumping up massively. I don't know if anything's caused this or the fact it is literally just a case of, I mean, if you look at, where it bottomed out in April to where it was yesterday, it was, 6, 7, 8% up. So it hadn't really moved at all relative to, other altcoins, what they've done in the same amount of time. So yeah, but it is really surging now. So I don't know if there's any news on Ton or what has caused that, but yeah, very, very interesting. And obviously a really good pump for anyone holding Ton. And yeah, of course, when we go to the 5-minute chart, Stonksy was on it. There we go. And of course, the channels are paying a great deal to trade in now. Uni was something I tweeted out before. Yeah, Uni's a nice pump, 8% today. So as you can see, there's not really much that's shifted at all this week. Arb's up a couple of percent again. Stonksy's on it on the 5-minute, that double confirmation. OP, 4%. We've had that come in as well. That's up nicely since Stonksy's gone green on it. But overall, yeah, altcoins really aren't moving. We've had a couple of them. I see that Wiz mentioned CoreWeave in the chat. That is, yeah, incredible. 65% out. I don't blame you, mate, because where the meteors land, they land in craters. I mean, obviously, this could go on. Who knows? It could go on in like an NVIDIA style run, doesn't it? But at some point, you would imagine people are going to start taking profits who are up, 3, 4x from the bottom. So not a bad idea at all, especially we know that this is a stock and not some altcoin. But yeah, what a run on something like that. And of course, called by Stonksy. Mask is doing well. This is another Wiz favorite. Mask is doing incredibly well. That is up 12% today. But yeah, overall, as you can see, this thing, we looked at this yesterday too. This has had a monster pump, caught by Stonksy again. But yeah, overall, nothing major. Like, there's nothing, a great deal going on in the market. We are kind of patiently waiting for Bitcoin to do something in either direction.
It is worth noting that NVIDIA have got their earnings results tonight.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, and NVIDIA is so big that always drags the entire market round with it. So that's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you want to, anything that you want to show, mate, before we move on to something else?
I've got my trades open on a different computer, but I can move them across to this one.
It's up to yourself.
But it'll take me a few minutes. Do you want to do something else first, and I'll sort that out while you're doing whatever you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay. It's probably only the big ones people are bothered about, isn't it?
Yeah. Right. Let's go and have a look at the liquidation levels before we move on to something else. Let's check the likes. Let's see if we fix these likes. 14 viewers, 7 likes. No, we've still not fixed the likes. But yeah, big thank you to everyone that is watching today. Now,
do you reckon it's me?
No, I doubt it, mate. I doubt it. So 24-hour liquidity. Obviously, we've got chunks of liquidity up and down. I think when you look at the chart, you'll be able to deduce that we will have liquidity definitely, below the lows and obviously above the highs. That is pretty standard. If we look at the 3-day chart, obviously big liquidity above. Is this the weekend? Oh, that's the current weekly high, I think. And obviously extending when we look at the 1 week towards the all-time high. So this is the 1 week chart. As you can see, hot liquidity making its way towards the all-time high. And of course, to the downside where these lows have come in, you can see, 1 low, 2 low, 3 low. Juicy liquidity building below there. So it's not kind of nailed on which direction we're going to go in just yet. Obviously, I think, most people want it to carry on to the upside. But is it possible that we could just hang around here? We've got, I think, the end of the month on Friday. Then, obviously, Monday will be the first trading day of the month for TradFi. So we've got a couple of interesting days coming this week. Is it possible that we just hang around at these levels? Well, we saw Bitcoin do it before, haven't we? when we go to the daily chart, all upon this move, oh, hang on, what am I doing? That's too far scaled out. Push up, consolidate, push up, consolidate, push up, consolidate. We could see it potentially even stay here for another week before we get anything. Don't rule it out. And, if Bitcoin stays like this, does that potentially give room for ETH and other alts to run on their own while Bitcoin's just consolidating? It potentially does, yeah. So we just need to wait and see. But yeah, at the moment, I mean, obviously people will have the bullish and bearish views, but I don't think really the chart says anything about where we could go next, apart from if we do just get like a consolidation and we just maybe come down here, take liquidity, come up here, take liquidity, whatever, before a breakout. So yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye on it, but it's just chugging away. A bit of a cool down. It has had a monster run, hasn't it? Much like ETH. 105k looks nice, says Loki. Yeah, looks a decent spot to grab liquidity, doesn't it? It would clear out, I think, last week's lows, and definitely this week's as well. $1.5 billion. What's that for? BBAI. BBAI. You're going to have to change your name, mate. You need to be Wizard of Stocks now. You need to be Wizard of Stocks. You've transitioned. It's transitioned over. I've got BBAI here. Here it is. I've actually got it loaded up. I've got all this stuff still loaded on that you and other people have told me to pull up. So BBAI is still there. It's up another little bit as well, pre-market, isn't it? But yeah, I mean, that's been on a great run since April as well. That is up roughly about 100% since the bottom in April. So very interesting for sure. And yeah, another one of Wiz's stock picks doing very well. No surprise. But yeah, I'm rooting for Ethereum now, mate. Now that you're long, I'm rooting for it.
Good. I mean, to be fair, I mean what Block Pro was talking about was you really need to close a daily candle above 2661. So it's got some work to do, I must admit. But you never know. I mean, I mean, to me, it was getting a bit tricky to trade Bitcoin because, I mean, what you're doing, you're either looking at a new all-time high, or you're looking at shorting somewhere where you don't know what it's going to do. There's no, the only reason to short is because it's gone up a lot, or it's at all-time high. So it's not that easy. I don't find it very easy when the price is really high to trade. But the thing is with Ethereum, it's not at all-time high and it's down quite a lot. And I think in the case that I can't trade Bitcoin, then Ethereum's probably a reasonable option.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it was last time, wasn't it, that ETH got its run up. Bitcoin started consolidating and kind of just was going sideways. I mean, when did we get the push up? That started in the 8th of May to kind of the 10th. So what was Bitcoin doing then? Let's see. The 8th, yeah. So Bitcoin had already began its run here towards 100k, and then it did extend it, to be fair, another couple of k into the 10th, but particularly around when ETH got them gigapumps, Bitcoin moved about 5% and ETH moved about 30-40%. So yeah, we could definitely see it again. We could definitely see it again. And I think there's probably other alts overdue a pump as well, like Ton that we're looking at, that's hardly done anything since other alts and Bitcoin's been rallying. I mean, look at it. I would love to know if this is just the market playing catch up and just buying up Ton, or if anything has catalyzed this, because it is up 20% today, so that is wonderful. I mean, let's go. I suppose we could go and have a look, couldn't we? I assume that there will be something on Cointelegraph about it, maybe. Here you go. Oh, that's not... Ton Foundation hires former Visa executive to lead payment strategy. Surely that's not them hiring someone has not caused a 20% pump on it, but maybe it has. Maybe it has. Maybe alongside that, they've announced something for an on-off ramp or whatever. I don't know, but that is something's caused it. So yeah, big up to Ton anyway, and obviously Uni again equally up at 8.5%. Not exactly sure what is behind that, or if it is just the market doing its thing. But yeah, if you are holding them, you will definitely be happy today. That is for sure.
Yeah, tell you what, there was a bit of news today about Tap Global. XTP. Yeah. Well, yeah, because for the last few weeks they've they used to do all their internal trading from Bitfinex, which is like a horrible exchange, but Bitfinex did one of these things where they delisted all the little coins, so XTP was one of those. So it meant that on their app that you couldn't do any you couldn't actually trade XTP at all. I mean, I never did that, but that was one of the functions of the app, and you couldn't do that. And they said it's going to be offline for a few days, and it was actually offline for like 12 days, which was a bit long, to be honest. And I kind of did a video about that a couple of days ago, and I was thinking, are they going to get the arse with me and sort of because they do tend to do that and moan at me, but in actual fact they said today that yesterday that they have now reintroduced trading on XTP. I mean, they're using Probit, which is another crappy exchange, but nevertheless it is an exchange, and it has actually been on there for a couple of years. It's just that the liquidity and volume is really low. But anyway, so it is possible to trade XTP there. But today, what they did, they put out a tweet saying that that you can now load up your like fiat balance without any fees, because believe it or not, since the app came out, they've charged you to put money actually on their account. So if you want to put 100 quid on your Tap account, they charge you £1.50, which I thought was outrageous. I mean, I know people charge you if you're doing it with a card or something, because they have to cover the card fees, but I don't know of anybody else who actually charges you for putting money, just using the bank transfer. They actually charge you for doing a bank transfer to receive it. Anyway, they said today that they're not going to do that anymore. It's going to be free, which I think is really good. I mean, the fees get less as you go up in the card tiers, but even so, the level of card I've got like 300 quid's worth of XTP there, and it's still I think it was still £1. No, what? It was either £1.50 or £1 or something like that. That's the flat fee for putting money on your card. Anyway, so that's gone now, because the problem with that was you have to spend a certain amount, and then to get your cash back to even break even, to give it a reason, to have a reason to use the card in the first place. Anyway, so they've abolished all that. They still haven't got proper GBP accounts. It's all in euros. Even if your balance says GBP, you're actually spending euros, which is a pain. That's going to change later, apparently later this year, apparently. So that's good. Right. But anyway, so that was good news. So what I did this morning, I thought, oh great, I'll make a video about that. So I've got a Belgian bank account. It's that Bunk, BUNQ. And I thought, I've got some euros in that I normally save for like when I go on holiday, Yeah. And I thought, well, I'll move some euros across from that to my Tap account. And I did that, and about a minute ago, I just got a message saying it's been returned. So God knows what's gone wrong there. But so they're nearly there, but not quite. Yeah, I don't know. That might be the bank problem though. Maybe the bank doesn't like crypto things or whatever. But but we'll find out anyway. But generally, there are two little bits of good news that could possibly save that token one day.
I do find it interesting, because obviously they've still got the token. They've not kind of oh, hang on, it's up oh wow,
what,
it's up 50% today.
How are you seeing it?
on CoinMarketCap.
Oh,
Look at it. Oh, it's up 100%.
yeah, but I don't know where they got their info from.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it must be from this, but the volume is only 12 grand.
I mean, it's pathetic, isn't it? I don't know.
So can you only buy it on the app now then?
No, you can buy it on an exchange called Probit, but
That's there, yeah. But
it's
doesn't sound like the most reliable of exchanges.
I opened an account and it just looks horrible.
But you can still buy it on the app.
You can still buy it on the app, but it does go through the Probit exchange. So because they've integrated that. That's what they did over the last couple of days. I'm just trying to find out how to find the actual price of it.
Well, something has happened with it today because it is up 93%. So I know the volume's only 12 grand. That must have just been pure buying pressure that's pushed it up.
It's probably my video that did it.
maybe you're the mover of XTP now. But I mean, something's happened with it. You know, wherever CoinMarketCap are getting this data from, it is up 93% because it must have been around 600k market cap, so it's back up to 1.2 mil.
Right. Tell you what, because my balance, right, because I've just got a little bit of XTP on the actual account. My balance was yesterday. It was about 220 euros, and it's now 509.
There you go.
It does look like it's up 100%.
Yeah, there you go. So not a lot of volume, but you know, it's definitely pushed it up.
Now, the interesting thing about that, right, is because I've got a like millions of XTP, but that's on my ledger. If I was to move that onto here, I think I could probably get the premium card now, which gets you 8% cash back. I think. And what they did say, because I had this discussion with them on X a few months ago, what they did say is if at any point in time your XTP is worth whatever you need for the highest tier, or a higher tier, you can upgrade at that point, and if it goes down, they won't make you downgrade. You know, so if you get a spike, you can upgrade your tier, and then you get more cash back and you pay less fees. So I don't know. It could be the sort of thing that actually digs it out of the shit. Actually, I think.
Yeah.
There are a few things really wrong with it though. Like in the app, they've got a thing where you copy the IBAN number, right? And if you look at it, it has the proper format for an IBAN number when you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do the little symbol, the little like copy symbol that you always have on things.
Yeah, like the little kind of notepad thing.
That's it. Yeah. If you click that, and then I went over to my bank account on my computer and I pasted it in there, and it had the IBAN, and at the end of it, it said copied. I actually had the word copied. I thought I couldn't work out what it was. I thought it said the CO and space PI.
Yeah,
it's a CO pi thing. And then I copied the SWIFT, the bank code, and it did the same thing, but it said it in small letters. It said 20 63 92 copied. so they've not got that right. That's in the app, and that's been like that must have been like that for years.
Yeah.
And also the fact they've actually done this change in the fees to load the card. They haven't updated their fee schedule in the app either.
Yeah. And
then over on the website, they've got the fees and terms and conditions on there are actually still from 2021. So, I don't quite get why they can't just get their act together and actually just finish things properly.
I suppose, mate, you could reach out and say, look, these are all the issues you're having. Let me help you fix them.
Well, I kind of do that, but they hate me. Because I don't know if they do hate me or not, actually, but they don't like me because if something's not working right, I will moan about it and make a video saying how crap it is. But
you do also make videos on everything else, though, don't you? Like when they release something or whatever.
Yeah. No, if they do something good, I mean, I will say it's good. In fact, the one I started this morning starts off very positive. now I've been unable to put my euros on it. I'm not sure how it's going to end, but we'll find out. But I'm just very truthful about things. If I think something's good, I will say so, and I think something's not so good, I will say so as well. I mean, there are things like they need to get this GBP balance thing in the app. They need to do that. Now, they did say they get it done in the first 2 quarters of this year, so they've got a month and a bit left, haven't they? So
yeah.
Anyway, totally distracted myself talking about that.
Well, we've got ETH pumping up. ETH is pumping up. Stonksy is green on it, which is good.
I did notice, by the way. I'm not sure if I did notice the other day, but that Stonksy's been green on the 1 hour on Ethereum since yesterday morning.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah,
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, that's on the 1 hour it's been green. On the 5 minute it's back to being green. It did ride the 1 hour and the 5 minute up alongside the 1 hour there.
Yeah,
I think the 1 hour maybe
got
a little
triangle.
Yeah, maybe a little bit earlier.
We
are back being green alongside the arrow for the double confirmation, and it is pushing up very nicely. It's like we mentioned before, it's doing its thing while Bitcoin's consolidating. So maybe we see more of this. Sol is down a little percent, but it is making a recovery. It has been pushing up.
I mean, I don't know if he was joking or not, but what Block Pro was saying is if we do close the daily candle above 26.61, long the F out of everything. Because
well, there we go.
And bearing in mind he's the biggest bear ever. That's saying something, isn't it? So,
yeah. There we go. Yeah, keep an eye out on it, definitely. But yeah, I think maybe. I mean, Wiz says that's why Ton is running. So yeah, on the back of that news, I mean that is a huge pump, isn't it, for Ton? Let us know in the chat what you'd like us to cover. What would you like us to run through while we watch ETH pump on this brilliant Stonksy background confirmation? How have you been finding the channels? Have you had much time to look at the channels, use the channels? How have you been doing with it?
Well, yeah, I like them actually. Shall I stick a chart on, and then we can talk about it?
You go for it. I'll tell you what, you stick a chart on, I'm going to go and get an Allen key, and I'm going to fix this chair on stream.
God, it's all happening today, isn't it? It's like
let's give the people what they want.
Hang on, let me just remove.
What the people really want to see is me fixing my chair. That's it.
Let me just remove the.
And then we can finally put that chapter of streaming to bed.
Let me just remove the adult content from my screen.
Yeah, we don't want to get banned. Especially with the type of stuff that you have loaded up.
I know. Right. Right. Of course, it's been a while since I've done this. Right, share screen. And do remind me when I get it wrong as well, and forget to change my tab.
Yeah, there you go, mate. You're on. Right, I'm gonna go and get this Allen key. I'll be back in a second.
Okay.
Yeah, do make sure you get your comments in. Let us know what you want us to look at, or your thoughts on the market, and get those likes up. Come on.
Okay. Right. So what we were just talking about. Actually, let's get us on a normal kind of chart. Okay. So like Stonksy. Right. So talking about these channels here, and I've been trying to come up with an idea of how to use them, and I think looking at them on the 1 hour time frame is pretty cool. So I've been looking, for example, here on Ethereum. I've been looking kind of back here, like when did it actually touch that inner channel there? Okay, so it did that then. Those would have both been excellent times to long. So would that. And then back here, didn't quite hit there, but pretty near. So yeah, I think the thing with them is if you're already in a in a trade, sorry, if the back, say if you're here, right, if you're looking on the 1 hour time frame and you think, okay, well, Stonksy went green at about 25.64 for Ethereum, and you're thinking, like, is it too late to get in? Then, you know, if you were up here in the top band of this channel, I think it's a Kaltner channel, I'm pretty sure it is that right, SMFC? If you were up here, then, you know, that would not be a good time to enter. But when you see it come back down towards this bottom bit, you think, well, okay, maybe that would be okay, sort of thing. So I think it's really useful for that, as well as coming up with strategies, you know, for actually saying, okay, I'm going to enter only if it touches the first band here before we get, you know, like the second one up, you know. Or if you're in a downward trend, then obviously the opposite, you know, looking for shorts when that goes up there and touches that. I think that would be quite nice. Cool. So hang on. SMFC saying that's why you need the human element really to make the best use of them. Yeah, I agree totally. But, you know, even say here, like on the 12-minute time frame, have I got it here? Why haven't I got it? Because I've been messing about, obviously. Let me just add Stonksy here. Don't know why it's not here. There you go. And this one, for some reason, if you're not seeing the channels, by the way, it's probably because you need to do that. There you go. So yeah, so here for the moment, you know, you're up here, so I wouldn't be going long just there at the moment, because, you know, the chances are it might come down a little bit. But obviously looking at it on the 1 hour time frame, actually no, that's yeah, that's probably not the best area to go long at all, is it really? But yeah, so back here, and certainly when the price was coming down towards this line here, that is certainly a good kind of thing. Now I know that you, Dean, SMFC, you put a thing in the Discord about a strategy. I've yet to have a go with that, but I do want to do that and make a video all about it, and also do a kind of you know, a case study about it, and hopefully sort of you know, turn an amount of money into a much bigger amount of money. That's what I'd like to do. Have you oh, you grabbed the screen back, have you?
No, still on yours.
What am I looking at? So
You've got the you've got Ethereum chart up at the moment.
I have indeed, yeah. Okay.
Right. Well, the good news is I have found an Allen key.
Right. I think we should get the macro camera out.
Yeah, and that fits there. Right. We ready for it? We ready? Right. Fixing my chair finally. And I'm doing it so everyone can see it's finally fixed. Are we ready?
We can't see.
What?
We can't see you doing it.
Hang on. Hang on. What about that?
I can see your head.
There we go. There we go. After months and months and months of it breaking. Ta-da! Fixed.
Is that it? Is that it?
There we go. We're fixed, yeah.
It's just a turn of the screw and that's it.
It was literally just the screw that needed putting back in.
Wow. Okay.
Oh,
well, there you go. Your life's complete now.
Hang on, someone's at my door. You carry on.
All right. Anyway, so yeah. Also, by the way, if you're seeing all this stuff over here, I don't need to see all that. So what you can do here is I normally turn that off, and I normally turn that off and turn that off, just to make things a bit tidier, you know, so you haven't got all that stuff there. It also makes that bit tidier as well there, so you haven't got all the numbers and stuff afterwards. So that's another way to make Stonksy look a bit neater. I do want to change to a different view. What's the best one to use for that? Maybe this one here. Let me just get rid of some things I'm not using. Let's get rid of let's into one.
Nice, I'm back.
You coming back, eh?
I'm coming back.
All right.
What? Now that my chair is fixed, feels like a real weight off my shoulders.
Yeah, that's how it goes sometimes.
Hang on. What's stuck here? There we go, right.
No, I'm just playing.
I'm back. There we go. Have you all missed me? I'm sure you have.
I bet that feels like a weight off your arm. Or,
I tell you what, look at this.
What?
Hey, look at this. I can go in all sorts of directions and lean in and everything and do whatever now. Oh, I tell you what, actually. Oh, I've just noticed, right? So I've fixed the front side. The back of the arm, there's actually no screw in that either.
What you got a screw missing?
I think I've got a screw missing, which is not the first time someone said that to me. Not the first time I've been asked if I've got a screw loose. But yeah, so I don't actually know. My chair's dragging this wire now.
I do like to turn the opacity down on the.
There we go. Right.
So what I want to do is look at Dean's strategy in the Discord, but I probably won't do it. I probably won't do it today.
Well, Space Cat is saying, "Can I fix their chair too?" Sure, why not? Procrastination at its finest. Brilliant.
But yeah, I think SMFC's strategy involved something with the oscillator and something with the channels, and it was I don't know, it was I'm gonna have to have a look at it. And
well, I can tell you that there is a Medium article coming out today from SMFC on the oscillator and using it, so
okay,
that will be good to look at, and obviously I'll cover that on tomorrow's stream. If it's still going up today, let us know, SMFC, in the chat, if that is still scheduled to go ahead today. But yeah, that should be definitely good to walk through tomorrow. He says, might be coming out today, do my best to get it out today. Well, if not, it will be out this week, I'm sure. So if it's not today, hopefully tomorrow or whenever he's able to get it out. But yeah, that will be good. And there is a video from myself coming out on the channel today about the oscillator. So do make sure you keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if the oscillators. I mean, it was pretty good for this bottom here on Ethereum, wasn't it? Because it was like right down there. So what we've been saying is that when it turns pink, that's a good time to go long, you know. So that would have been about there, wouldn't it? About 25.49, which would have been really good. Yeah, that's on the 1 hour. I've got a feeling someone mentioned the 15-minute. I can't remember now. Oh, okay. So the 15-minute turned pink today, a couple of hours ago. Even that would have been good, wouldn't it? Yeah. So I suppose quite a good challenge, I reckon. That might be good for a video I could make. I might try trading with a strategy just involving the oscillator. See if I can do that without actually turn Stonksy off. Turn it off, and I'll just do it by looking at the oscillator, because you can get that on its own now, can't you?
Yeah,
plug time.
You can. Oh, I tell you what, it wasn't the that Visa news on Ton that made it pump. An hour ago, it came out. Elon Musk's XAI partners with Telegram to integrate Grok into the platform. That's what's pumped Ton.
Oh, right.
No, it's not. It wasn't that news about that Visa person joining. It was XAI is going to be integrating Grok into Telegram. That is the reason for the Ton pump. So there we go. Finally figured it out. Wiz sold me down a river. He said it was because of that news on the Visa person joining. Boo. But actually, I don't know, because that was only an hour ago, to be fair. So maybe actually I'm wrong. Maybe I need to retract my statement.
So when was the Elon news?
Because it was pumping. It was pumping before that anyway. I think this was only an hour ago. So it wouldn't have been that. So I retract my statement. Sorry, Wiz. But yeah, what a pump! What a pump! Ton's a funny old coin.
Yeah, I've never traded it or anything.
I tell you what, I've just read something as well. Something very interesting on X. You ready? I'll read this out and let's see if it resonates with you or anyone watching.
Okay.
Making one solid day equals $175 a day. That's $1,225 a week. That's $4,900 a month. That's $58,800 a year. Making 0.1 ETH is $267 a day. $1,869 a day. 7,476 a month. 89,712 a year. The reality I'm trying to paint here is that any green trade is better than the slightest red. There's countless chains to make some ETH every day. Solana is still providing opportunities, especially if you're setting a simple, realistic daily goal. And that is, I saw that then as I was just refreshing the Stonksy Twitter, and that is, that's something so true in it, and it's something that I made a couple of videos on. Is making 1% a day, or targeting compounding, whatever it may be. You don't always have to chase the big, green P&L and all these big numbers and everything. Chasing small, steady gains can definitely be good. We've got BPN Mega in the chat saying that they are short on Ton, Doge, Cookie, and Bitcoin and Syrup. That's quite the collection of tickers, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully that comes off for you, mate. I'm rooting for you. But if I'm rooting for you, then I'm rooting against Save with Crypto. So actually, who am I rooting for? Because if he's short on Bitcoin and Bitcoin goes down, that's going to drag ETH down, which then drags your trade down. So there's a bit of a conflict of interest here, isn't there?
Yeah.
That says 2625 trying to get filled on ETH. Let's see. Space Cat, I've not seen you in the chat before apart from today, so make sure you are subscribing. It'd be great to see you. Make sure everyone drops a like as well. If you haven't already, drop a like, whether you're watching on X or on YouTube. And if you haven't already, do subscribe, because it'd be great to welcome you back every day. We do go live every single day, so come and join me and my very, very nice guests that we have on, such as Save with Crypto.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about me ETH trade now, actually.
No, are you feeling a bit uneasy on it?
Don't know.
I need a drink.
I'm actually doing this on. I'm doing this one on BitGet, so I've actually. It's a bit weird actually. I'm actually using. This one's tiny. That's a little bit of Bitcoin I'm using for the margin there, but this one here, I'm using BGB as the margin for it. So this one here, this is only 2.72% in profit, $135 Don't know. It's not looking quite so good now, is it? It's probably about time we did the poll, isn't it, for the open?
Yeah, definitely.
I really don't know, you know. I think it's going to depend on whoever's got inside information about Nvidia. And Nvidia. I think Nvidia's going to have good news. That's what I think. But you can never tell, can you? Oh, you're right.
I had the hiccups then.
I
know. No, I mean, yeah, it is interesting, isn't it? These earnings. I'm guessing it's tonight. It's not pre-market, is it? Because it would have come out by now.
No, it'd be 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. That's going to hit my stop, isn't it?
Maybe.
I don't mind if it does. It's a bit hard to concentrate when you're on a stream, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's see. I don't know. I mean, what are they scheduled for? Let's see what they're scheduled for.
Direction on US Opine.
What have I done? Let's see.
Opine.
Opine. Oh God. Oh yeah. Hang on. Let me redo it. Hang on. There we go. Right. Restarted the poll. Do make sure you go and vote. Yeah, you can never. I mean, they are scheduled for an estimated revenue of 43.34 billion. Let's see what they got last time.
I was going to say, is that good or bad?
Let's see. So they've hit. So something interesting about Nvidia is the last time they missed earnings was in.
What have you got on your screen? Do you want to show it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the last time Nvidia missed earnings was Q3 2022, obviously released in the November, and that was the last time they missed earnings. Where they, oh no, actually, it wasn't that they missed earnings. They just missed the. What did they miss? The earnings per share. The revenue was actually better than expected. But yeah, they missed earnings per share, which obviously gave them the ready. But I think look at that. I mean, looks like it's one of the first times ever. Everything else is green on earnings day. So the last time they had estimated revenue of 38.1 billion, and they came 3.23% up, and earnings per share was nearly 5% higher. So they have estimated an extra, like 5 billion or something on top of the revenue for this quarter. Well, last quarter. I mean, don't ask me any more than that. Don't ask me any more than that. Don't ask me why or anything, because I don't know.
I think they've got a new thing out, haven't they? They got a new graphics card or something.
Yeah, they're always doing something new, aren't they? I mean, look at that from the revenue growth when we was viewing them late 2022 earnings, which are around about 3 years old nearly. The revenue was a tenth of what it is now, which is pretty crazy, isn't it? The revenue was 10x in the span of 3 years.
Yeah, I tell you what, just looking at what Ethereum just did. I was talking about that level of 2661.
Yeah.
Just look where it came down to.
Look at that, yeah. That's at the Block Pro level, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've got BPN saying they will try their best to hide the bad, that's for sure. Loki actually thinks that ETH could reverse, fill the imbalance at 2.5k. Interesting.
Well, the thing is, right, for anyone who's gone long now, like me, you're going to have a stop loss below the last low, aren't you? Which was this morning. which is about 26.10. So everyone's going to have their stop loss down there, aren't they? So it's quite feasible that it could just come down there, suck up all them stop losses, and then go back up. So that is actually quite feasible if this 26.61 doesn't now act like support.
Yeah, absolutely. Debut Master, afternoon to you, mate. Thank you very much for joining again. And Space Cat says, just say AI during the report and it's Stonksy time. Exactly, Space Cat. Yeah. It's always Stonksy time, no matter the time of the day or the day. It's always Stonksy time. It's always time to print some money. So, yeah. But yeah, ETH definitely seems like the thing to pay attention to today. Unless Bitcoin just starts really tanking, then obviously everything is going to be in trouble from it, isn't it?
I think everything's looking pretty good today, isn't it? Overall. Yeah. Anyway, so what are you thinking about the old sell in May and go away thing?
Well, we put no, didn't we? Which worked out to be quite good.
Yeah, I was listening to somebody else the other day. I can't think who it was now. I would think it was that Satoshi Stacker guy, and I think he'd done a bit of analysis. And I think he'd come out that every May that was bad, or rather every May that would have applied to the sell in May go away, was preceded by a really bad April. Now the fact is this year we had a really good April, so apparently all the good Aprils have generally been followed by a good summer. So it might not apply this year, which is kind of what we were saying, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think while we've got this time as well, Easy Kev, how we doing? Oh, GameStop has acquired 4,170 Bitcoin to establish the Bitcoin treasury. Let's go and see that actually before we do anything else. Has that just come out now? 2 hours ago. Purchased 4,710 Bitcoin. Interesting that they've not took the obviously they've just declared that they've bought it. They've not gone down the sailor route, have they? Have been saying like the average price that they've paid for it. So maybe they'll only release them on earnings then. But that is that's interesting. I don't know how much that is off the top of my head. Well, actually, we looked at 2.5 billion yesterday, didn't we, at the current price? And that was 21,000, I think, or 22,000. So maybe they've bought... I mean, I'm just trying to do the mental maths now. My estimate would be that they've bought around 600 to 700 million, maybe, of Bitcoin. I don't know if there's more on the website or anything for how much they've bought, but yeah. Easy Kev, how we doing, mate? Now, what I do want to go and have a look at, which is what we did last time, mate, on Bitcoin. So yeah, we said at the end of April, didn't we? At the end of April, we said, well, we estimated that selling in May and walking away wouldn't work. Now, so far that has come good. Because obviously, if you would have sold at the start of the month, you would have been, you would have missed out on about 10-15%. So if you would have sold, say, at the exact start of the month, 15% Bitcoin did since then. So obviously, we put a cross there when we was looking previously. Now, what I want to do is go on a different chart, and I want to highlight the summer months so we can see typically. And we need a different chart. To be fair, that goes back to 2017. That will do. We need to highlight the summer months. So are we saying June to August? Obviously, I know they are calendar-wise. Yeah. They are the summer months.
Yeah, school holidays, yeah.
June to August, then obviously coming into September. So let's go and do that. And let's just see exactly what Bitcoin has typically done. So June... August, June, August. We're getting there. We're getting there slowly. June, August, and I can kind of see a pattern here. I don't know if you can, mate, already, but I can kind of see a pattern.
Yeah, there's 2 lines every year.
Yeah. There's 2 lines every year, but also it looks like Bitcoin does absolutely nothing. So let's highlight. So as you can see, scroll in a little bit. In 2018, obviously it went up and down, but the actual time from opening to opening June's candle to closing August's was pretty much negligible. There wasn't really any difference. Same kind of goes for 2019. Obviously opened, pushed up, did push up throughout July, but then pretty much closed right back in the middle of June's candle, so didn't really take any direction there. 2020 did push up a little bit, but we know that's kind of an anomaly, isn't it? Because we had kind of the biggest bull run ever in there, but obviously, nevertheless, it did push up. We've got the same in 2021. 2022 was actually interesting because we did obviously shoot down a lot. Bitcoin lost about 33% of its value there. But then after June and then, in July and August, pretty much just did nothing. Same goes for 2023, pushed up a little bit, but then, come the end of August, didn't really do much. It closed just below where June opened. Last year, we obviously got the capitulation, didn't we? Went down to 50k or just below in the August. So that was a bit more volatile than previous years. So, based on the history of what you think, mate, what would you estimate that's going to happen between June and August? What do you reckon? We can put a little up chart or a down chart on it for if we think it's going to be higher at the end of August, or if there's going to be much price movement. Let us know in the chat. Actually, let us know in the chat. What does everyone think? Dude MT says check SPX 6900. Can look at that, mate. Well, look at that after this, definitely. And Discipline says good afternoon. Good afternoon to you, mate. Thanks for joining.
What are you saying? Higher than what it is today?
Well, I don't know. Do you think there's going to be really much movement? I mean, I suppose we don't have to put an emoji, but do you think there's going to be really much movement between June and the end of August?
I actually do.
Yeah.
But I think that might be it. and then back down to 3k.
Good. Send it there. I'd love that.
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest.
Debut Mastering says higher, I think.
I did see Eric Crown doing a sort of doing an analysis of like how far in each run, how much higher do you get, sort of thing. And obviously the amount you go from the last cycle to the current cycle, that's getting lower and lower all the time. And even if you have that as the same as the last one, I think it's coming out at about 125k or something. So actually it might be more, actually. It might be like 140 or something. So I don't know. I don't think it's going to do anything like go to 200k. I don't think that's going to happen myself. Not this time. So there you go. Sell everything. But I'm seriously gonna try my hardest not to bag hold all the way through the next bloody bear market, like I did last time.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing to remember, and it is, in the euphoria. BPN says 200k after pullback. If we push now to 120k, not looking good, I don't think. Space Cat says, I think it's different this time with a lot of interest coming from CME and traditional finance. While that being true, in my opinion on this whole like institutions buying Bitcoin and everything, my opinion would be, and I don't know if anyone agrees with me, let me know in the chat. They're very smart people, you know, they've built the reputation, they've built the, you know, the portfolios, the returns on how they manage money and stuff like that. My opinion on it is, if you're an institution or if you're someone sat on the board going, okay, we want to allocate to Bitcoin, why would you just start top blasting it here? Is what I'd be thinking. I'd be looking at how it's performed throughout history and saying, okay, it's obviously in a bull market, but is the bull market just going to last forever, or is it going to cool down and then, you know, at some point maybe for a year or two retrace? Like, while it's true, and obviously, you know, we know that Saylor just loves top blasting, he'll just keep top blasting forever. But if you was managing, you know, a successful fund and you were looking, saying, okay, you know, we want to allocate 1% to Bitcoin or something, is your risk management telling you to just start top blasting it here? Or would you be saying, okay, well, what's the chances over the next 2 years potentially, you know, you maybe get a pull back into there? Because, you know, at the end of the day, it's just a chart, isn't it? It's just a chart, regardless of the outside noise. Look at what the chart's telling you. What is the chance of even, you know, maybe getting a pullback into there? Obviously, that is like, you know, pretty bear territory. But, you know, if you just look at the chart and forget the numbers, so that's, you know, that's my opinion is, yeah, while, you know, you could look at it and it could be maybe going, well, you know, in 4 or 5 years, whatever, Bitcoin's going to be at 500,000, it's going to be at 1 million, whatever. Their risk management strategies will that actually allow them to just go, okay, well, you know, Bitcoin's up 7x over the, you know, from the past 2.5 years, but it doesn't matter. We'll just start top blasting it here above 100k. That's the only thing that like gets me thinking that, you know, if I, obviously these people are extremely smart, but if that was me sat there, I'd be like, well, do we actually just want to throw our money in here and potentially buy people's bags off them when, you know, some of them have maybe done 4, 5, 6, 7x, whatever? That's what I think anyway, but I don't know. Let me know in the chat what you think to that.
Sorry, I've got my silly alerts again.
Underfunder says the chart always goes higher in years to come. It does. But that's not always been, you know, while it's the case at the moment, you know, look what gold did. And, you know, everyone's obsessed with comparing it to gold and stuff, aren't they? Gold went on a parabolic run for a similar amount of time to Bitcoin. I don't know exactly how I've got onto this. This isn't bear posting or anything, by the way. This is just simply, you know, just discussing. You know, are we just going to go parabolic forever, or, you know, are we potentially in for a pullback at some point? But you know, if you look at the high time frame gold chart and Bitcoin, it's obviously not going to look the exact same because Bitcoin's had some really harsh retraces. But don't forget that gold went up for pretty much like 10 years straight, while, you know, very similar to what Bitcoin's done. Gold went up for a crazy amount of time on the monthly, you know, just pretty much had one harsh pullback here in 2008, but it went pretty much just up only, constantly. And then it got to a point of exhaustion, and then it went down only for like 4 years, obviously very steadily and stuff, and lost half of its value. And then consolidated for, you know, 5 years, and then carried on. So, I don't know. Definitely something I think that's worth looking at. But, you know, everyone loves comparing Bitcoin to gold. Well, look what gold did. It didn't just go up only forever. Yeah, we're now at 3,300. But it did go up for 10 years pretty much in a straight line, but then suffered a lot for, you know, a couple of years and then went sideways. So,
well, that's the other thing as well. I mean, you know, if you go comparing Bitcoin to gold, I mean, you're comparing, you know, an asset that's 15 years old with an asset that's like thousands of years old. You know, it's like, so I don't know. Even the idea of talking about cycles with Bitcoin, I mean, it's only had like 4, isn't it, or 3 or whatever. You know, yeah. So it's still a bit early to start coming to conclusions about it always does this or whatever, you know. But like, it'll do whatever it wants, really. But Yeah. I did notice SMFC saying I'm going to try and add Top Blast into my daily vocabulary. I'd not heard that before until you started saying it a million times. Back
Yeah.
Where's that come from?
It's mostly come from I see people using it for when sailors buying, just completely just top blasting it. Just keep on loading Bitcoin up at the top. Yeah, it's quite a funny term actually, isn't it? Yeah. Don't know if the pullbacks are still going to be so big because of a lot of buying power by the big companies. We will see. Yeah, that's it. Again, doesn't mean we are going to get a harsh pullback or whatever. I just thought it was interesting just looking at it. I think silver, it's more close to Bitcoin. Also with cycles, 8 years, I believe. Silver did go parabolic because of over leveraging debt. But then the rules of leveraging debt changed and it was deceased.
I don't know what. I think it's disaster, isn't it? It's disaster.
Right. Right. Sorry, missing the eye. Yeah, I mean that is something interesting. I mean, I don't really want to get into the technicals, but I mean, personally, if you was to ask me, do you think this is a good thing that so much Bitcoin is being bought on debt? I would say no. But again, what the hell do I know compared to these people? I'm not worth $1 billion. I don't manage a multi-billion-dollar firm or whatever. But I mean, just me putting my my risky hat on. Do I think it's so good that so much Bitcoin's being bought above 100k on debt when there's the potential for it to correct? No, but I don't know.
Well, that shattered my illusion about you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were a billionaire.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Bitcoin went down 77% from peak 2021 to 2022. It did, mate. It did, yeah. Sorry, English not. Hey, mate, don't apologise. Do not apologise for that at all. Thank you for your input, and yeah, keep it coming, Space Cat. I think your English is very good. That whole paragraph was great. It was just I didn't know what that last word was. I didn't in my mind. Disaster didn't come to me. But no, keep it going, mate. It's great to have you on in the chat. Debt, you don't pay tax over it, right? Seems good. Yeah, it might be a good thing. Yeah. It could be a great thing, and I'm sure maybe there's a reason that they're doing it. But yeah, it kind of just reminds me of kind of 2021, 2022 when there was just max greed in the market, and obviously there was just protocols like with crazy APY and everything just ended up getting crushed eventually. Which meme coin portfolio would you recommend? Says Dude MT. I think, Dude, you wanted me to have a look at SPX 6900, didn't you? Let's go and take a look at that. Okay, it's back above $1. Very nice, very nice. I mean, this has had a great recovery. So this has done a 4x from the bottom so far, and Stonksy has been catching all the pushes up, starting from the original up to now, going green from 90 cents. I noticed just how good the channels have been. I mean, price spends most of its time in the inner channel, but just look at the behavior on when it's touching the inner channel, pulls back, low time frame, gets out of the inner channel, exhaustion, pulls back, and then now pushing in the inner channel, the upper of the inner channel again. So this inner channel is superb when you actually look at how price behaves when it's in the inner channel, and then when obviously it pushes towards the extremities or even into the outer channel. It is exceptional when you're looking to maybe time some scalps or just manage a trade or whatever. But that's up nearly 13% today. Only other memes that are up notably really is Mother. Mother is doing quite well. Mother Iggy, that's up 7%. And I think the memes I have on the list anyway, there's nothing really else that is doing too much. Everything is either barely up or barely down. But as to your first actual question of what meme coin portfolio,
Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Is it? There we go. There we go. I mean, we can't give financial advice on the channel. I mean, it's hard, isn't it? Because everything's pumped so much. So, even your ones like WIF, SPX, even the other ones like Moodeng and stuff like that. Everything is really pumped, like anywhere between 3 and probably 10x, hasn't it? So, I think it might be hard to try and position into memes at the moment because obviously they went so far down, 18, 19, 95%. But a lot of them have had big pushes up. So it's kind of at a sticking point in it of like, do you actually want to start buying them here after they've had such a big pump up and people can either take profits from the bottom or see an opportunity to get out for a less of a loss? That channels are interesting theory on price distribution. Yeah, mate. I mean, are you hey Space Cat? Are you a Stonksy user? Space Cat? Let us know. Let's go. Yeah. Let me load up.
I'm trying to work out where Space Cat's from, actually.
Yeah, Space Cat. Where are you from? I've got a feeling that maybe Space Cat. I don't know if I'm right or not, but maybe Space Cat. I know Ambrose was a guy that was coming into the stream a lot, and I've not seen him today. Space Cat, are you Ambrose in disguise? Let's see if I'm right. I don't know.
Looking at the way that over Lavarage was spelled, I wonder if their first language is French. Is that Francais? Ou pas?
You asking?
I've got a feeling.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Ethereum went back up a little bit, so that's good. What did Bitcoin do? Bitcoin didn't do anything. Okay, that was a pretty dull open, that was.
Yeah, it was. It's not really done much, has it?
Not.
He says, good guess, but not French.
Oh, okay. Okay. Don't know. German. Bist du Deutsch?
Okay. Well.
Sorry, I interrupted there. What were you talking about?
I have no idea. I'll be honest.
Okay.
I don't even remember.
So I'm trying to keep it.
I whacked the 1 minute Bitcoin chart on for open, and we've not really done anything, have we? So it looks like we're maybe waiting to get some volatility in, or obviously, like I discussed at the start of the stream, if you wasn't here, we do have the monthly end this week. Friday is the last day of May, so potentially, we maybe see a bit of lackluster volatility. Maybe volatility dries up a bit, or maybe we do get some kind of push in either direction coming into the monthly end to kind of maybe go after liquidity from one side or push price into a certain direction. But yeah, we do have monthly end on Friday, and then obviously Saturday will be the first day of the month, but Monday will be the first trading day for TradFi. So definitely something to bear in mind for the next coming 5 days or so. Dutch up 100% on the ton short now. Yeah, let's go and take a look at ton. Good call, BPN. Like the Bitcoin news yesterday, wasn't it? When we got that Trump news, that ended up being, a great shorting opportunity. This was the news, wasn't it? It pushed up to 110,700 in the end, and then obviously retraced for the hourly close, and then the hour after dropped all the way down to 108,700. And it, obviously throughout the rest of the session it pumped back up, but taking the opposite direction on news pumps, it can obviously be a very wise decision. Yeah, ton is it's pulled back a little bit, hasn't it? So we'll see what happens with that. I mean, we'll keep an eye on it, see how long it takes for it to potentially distribute back down. The last time Ton had a news pump, it took absolutely ages. So obviously, talking about news pumps there, we'll just cover this before we do anything else. So the last time Ton had a news pump, was here. This was when the CEO got released from France and it was allowed back to Dubai or the UAE. And obviously it had this big pump and then it just carried on. And then obviously went after liquidity above here and then eventually retraced it. But, typically what you would see is normally anyway, you'd see a news pump and then you would see, maybe consolidation and then maybe a slow staircase down or something. But last time Ton had a news pump, it didn't do that. So this is obviously probably a whole lot different anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Ton's a funny old one. I've been keeping an eye on Ton because like I mentioned when we first started looking at it, it's barely had a pump when you look at the price, obviously from yesterday to when Bitcoin bottomed out. There's only like a 6-7% difference. Obviously now it's a lot bigger because of today's pump. But yeah, definitely an interesting coin. A tip, it's a crypto tax paradise.
I know. I was just looking at that and I was trying to work it out. So you would think.
So Dubai.
You'd think that, but no one's actually from Dubai, are they?
Well, someone has to be.
Like,
Surely some people have to be born there.
Hardly anyone. I mean, it's like 80% expats.
Well, all right. Well, what about just UAE then? I'm guessing the overall Middle East. UAE. Where else? Thailand. Thailand is a bit of a tax paradise, isn't it? The British Virgin Islands.
Or it might be one of those weird places like Malta or somewhere like that.
Yeah, maybe somewhere where we're not too familiar with it.
Maybe
I don't think I could list you many places that I know of that is like 0% tax for crypto.
Yeah.
Europe Union. Switzerland? Is Switzerland it? I don't know.
Wow.
Switzerland, is that? This is a good game, this. He's really, hey, I tell you what, he's really teasing us, isn't he?
Yeah.
Hang on. It might be a woman. It might be a woman.
If it is, it's the first one ever on the stream.
Hey, no, Kaz comes on the stream regularly.
Okay.
We have got 23 views and 14 likes. So 9 of you that are watching, please do drop a like on the stream.
What Space Cat's on about there is, am I going to do the CME challenge? That's because the CME gap thing that's been that's happened every week for I don't know, most weeks this year, I think. So I think I'm. So the idea was I was going to start off with like $500 or something, and then just do a trade, assuming that the price is going to go back to whatever the CME closed at on the Friday, sometime the following week. I reckon that might be quite a good fun thing to do, actually.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think what price to enter at, though. I mean, do I enter at the price that I just pick from the weekend, and then I suppose that's the way to go, isn't it? And then assume that it will go back there on the Monday or early in the week. Anyway, but yeah, I will do that. I think that'll be good fun. I'll probably talk about that on Friday. Europe Union. So I reckon you live in Malta and you speak Portuguese as your first language. That's my guess. Either that or hang on, or you're in Cyprus and you normally speak Greek. There you go. One of those. Those are my guesses.
I don't know. I'm saying Switzerland.
Switzerland. So what's the crypto tax thing in Switzerland? It's
I've no idea. I'm just guessing. Normally Switzerland stay out of everything, don't they? So I'm gonna say they're staying out of crypto. And I'm just gonna have it like that. Oh, I speak Portuguese. That's right. Oh, Portugal is a tax paradise. Yeah.
The only thing is, it used to be, but now haven't they tightened up on things now? I don't know. I always set my VPN to Portugal, actually. So maybe you're Portuguese. I don't know any Portuguese really, apart from obrigado, and that's it, I think. Really want to know now. Is it Portugal? Is it Portugal? never know.
Yeah. Well, let's move on anyway.
All right.
Let's move on. What should we look at next? Go on, mate. I'll let you choose the next.
Do you want to do your Mag 7?
Yeah, we could do. We could have a quick look at that. So Nvidia is obviously gapped up initially, but it's closed that gap quickly and is pushing back to the upside. Apple is obviously gapped up, down a little bit from open. Meta's up 1.25%, so that is pushing up from open. Microsoft is up a slight bit. Amazon is pushing up nicely as well. Tesla's actually down. It did open higher, but then it's down 0.5% nearly. And Google is pushing on up. That is up just over 1%. So yeah, nothing major. There's been no major moves on the SP. Bitcoin is pushing down after open as well. So we are a couple of $100 down from where at the time of the US Open.
But Ethereum
is, let me pull Ethereum back up. It's chugging on higher. It's chugging on higher, isn't it? It is. So we've got a bit of outperformance in ETH Bitcoin again. It is pushing on back up. So your trade is in the green, mate.
It is indeed. Oh, $323. Okay, oh, that's good.
We got Space Cat saying Portugal, yes. They changed the rules. If you hold crypto for 1 year, you don't pay taxes. But overall, no one files tax returns on crypto because no one knows what it is. Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Nice. I tell you what, I'd quite merrily go and live in Portugal. Actually, my what's it now? My sister-in-law's brother. What's that? Is that like a? Is that my brother? No, it's not my brother-in-law, is it? But
your sister-in-law's brother? No, it's like kind of, it's not family, but it's kind of connected family in it.
Right, yeah. So he lives near Faro, and last year we went to Corteira on the Algarve, just near Albufeira.
Yeah,
and I must admit, I'd never been to Portugal before, and I absolutely loved it. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
I found the language a bit difficult because I know a lot of Spanish, and I thought it'd be similar. It looks similar, but it's not pronounced the same. And it's,
right, yeah.
So I found it a little bit hard to get my head around the language, you know. But yeah, I'd quite merrily live forever somewhere on the Algarve. I'd be very happy there. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah, that's like South Portugal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always fancied moving to like northern Spain or northern Portugal. So pretty much like kind of on the coast, you know, of the north side.
Which bit of Spain?
Well, I don't know anywhere. Like, because my reasoning for that is obviously you'd be living in Spain or Portugal, so it'd be nice, you know, be hotter. But I don't really like flying, so I like the idea of, you know, being able to get the ferry back if I need to, but you know.
Yeah.
And because I don't mind flying, but like I try and avoid it if I can. I just really don't like heights. So Ethereum is taking a big old dump.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really like flying, so I try and avoid it at all costs. So I kind of like the idea of obviously being abroad, but then close enough. I know obviously in Spain, Santander is one place where you can get the ferry. But it is a load of messing around, you know, for the sake of a 2-hour flight. Like, it is a load of messing around to do all that.
Yeah, I mean, I've obviously we used to drive a lot between the southwest of England and the French Alps, and like,
yeah,
that's a long way. That is. I did it 7 times in 2022 when I moved back to the UK, and after driving that 7 times, I just don't want to do it ever again, really.
I think that would probably be the thing. Is like. Yeah, like even getting the ferry, you know, for the sake of a 2-hour flight, you're probably spending a whole day on a boat, aren't you?
Yeah.
We've got Mr. Delta saying, what the dickens is occurring? All good. Hello, mate. Great to see you. Love Portugal. No one asked you, Delta. You stay out of this.
Anyway, what's happening? Well, the most important thing that happened today is Dave's fixed his chair.
I fixed my chair, but now I've encountered another problem with the chair. So I'm going to have to see if I've got a screw hanging around. I've got a feeling that that's fell out one time and I've put the screw somewhere and I probably just can't remember. SMFC says, just don't look out the window. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, most of it is the thought of getting on it. Once I'm on it, it's not that bad. What I don't like is the taking off. I don't like that part. But actually being up there is not the bad thing. What I don't like is when, you know, like when it starts shaking or you feel it drop or you feel it drop for a second. That's the part that I don't like. So like landing is fine because, you know, you're excited, like, well, I'll get my feet back on the ground. But the taking off and then just generally being up there, even without looking out the window, just knowing that you're that high, and the feeling of like the plane shaking or like dropping a little bit really gets me. So yeah. But what's interesting is I never used to be bothered by it when obviously the pandemic happened. When everyone was getting jabbed up, I didn't want the jab, so I didn't get the jab. So obviously I was on the naughty list for going on holiday for a while. So I went about 4 years, without going abroad, 3 or 4 years. And yeah, since that point, like I remember in 2019, I went on like 7 trips abroad. So I'd got on like a plane 14 individual times. So it never used to bother me. But like after a couple of years of not going on a plane, I don't know why, I just get really nervous about it now because it never used to bother me. Like for anyone who's been to America, I went to Vegas in 2019, and we got on a Virgin plane into Atlanta, and then we got on a Delta connecting flight. If anyone's been to America or from America, my God, them Delta planes are like they're made up, literally just like a tin can. The plane was up in the air, and it felt like it was going to fall apart. And that never bothered me, so I don't know. You need to get a screwdriver sponsor. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, if you know anyone, connect us up. And BPM Mega says, I still want 23 cents on cookie, but it top blasted. I love that. I love how everyone at the top of your system. Even harder, ask for 23 cents now. And Bitcoin is dropping. We're dropping to low 108k now. Let's go and have a look at cookie for our good friend BPN. Let's see. I've actually got it on the list, so I've looked at it at some point. Let's see. Let's have a look at it on the daily. So on the daily, yes, I remember. We looked at this yesterday, wasn't it? We looked at this yesterday because we were looking at the daily chart. And what we were looking at actually, was it yesterday or was it? No, it wouldn't have been Monday. It must have been yesterday. Yeah, was it for when was we were looking at this? I can't remember when I was looking at this. Surely it wasn't yesterday. Might have been. Anyway, we're looking at how obviously the chart behaved on the daily after coming out of the inner band towards the upper. Let's go and have a look on the hourly. So we're in the red on the hourly, and you're saying, so you want 23 cents. So this is Cookie's. This is BPN's level on Cookie here, around about there. Where are you in from? BPN the other day. Yeah, it wasn't yesterday, was it? But what? I tell you what it was. It must have been Sunday night. It was. I think it was Sunday night, wasn't it? Okay, so you want to drop down to there on Cookie. Doesn't say. Even harder, ask for 23 cents now. Love from Portugal, you guys make my heart warm. Oh well, thank you, Space Cat. Do make sure you drop a like. Tell your friend as well. What's the phrase? Save. What's the
and above all, tell your friends.
Tell your friends. Come on, tell your friends. Get spreading the good word of Stonksy and the stream as well. But yeah, get spreading the good word of Stonksy. So 30 cents got stopped in again, missed the pump at 36. Well, yeah, if you're in from 30, that's a decent push down, isn't it? So you're in from up here, that's a decent push down. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, Bitcoin is dropping, and I'm guessing it's taking the rest of the market with it.
Yeah, I came out of my trades actually.
Have you? Well, it's back down to that golden level of yours, mate.
I
Well,
know.
of yours and Block Pros.
I know. I'm tempted to long again from there actually.
Well, it has. I mean, I'm guessing it's been catalyzed by the S&P. The S&P has been nuking for the past 10 minutes or so. Just straight down after pumping on open. So I'm guessing that is what is pushing Bitcoin down with it. But it is in the first half an hour of open, so maybe we see a reversal. I don't know. I love that line. Above all, tell your friends. It's so addicting. Well, yeah. Well, come on then. Let's get this chat filled with Portuguese people. Why not? Why not?
I know. No, yeah. No, it makes me warm just thinking about Portugal. Actually, it's great.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still in my BitGet. I'm still in my Bybit Ethereum trade anyway. So that's good.
Oh, very good, mate. Very good.
Yeah. No, I just wonder if I think I did the sort of thing I normally do, where I put my stop loss in profit, and then because I don't want to lose any money, and it closes prematurely, and I do have a habit of doing that, but. There again, I think, well, that's all right. I'll just wait for the next opportunity. But then sometimes what I do is I FOMO in a bit because I think, oh no, I missed that, and that's when the problems start, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. I always think, whenever you exit a trade, whether it's a losing or a winning trade or a break-even trade, you should always kind of step back, shouldn't you? Maybe go for a walk or something and then come back to it, because the last thing you want to do is be coming out of it and then you get in, it pushes back up for a 5-minute candle or something, and then you get back in a bit higher and then it starts dropping down again and you just start messing yourself up.
Yeah. Oh, and there was something good I heard the other day actually, and that was someone was talking about, like adding to a trade that's already in profit, and so for example, like yesterday, say you were in a Bitcoin long and it was going up to 111k, and you had some more capital that you could put in the trade, should you do it? And the answer to it was kind of like, well, if you weren't already in a trade now, would you go long at that point? And like, no bloody way would you, because it was almost at all-time high. So if you think with that as well, if you think, okay, would I go long now if I wasn't already in a trade? And more often than not, the answer to that is no. That's another thing that I'm a little bit guilty of. It's like, adding bits to trades when they're on the way up, but maybe when it's higher than what I would do normally, So
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Nick, how we doing? Hi to you, mate. Great to see you. And thank you very much for joining. For anyone else that's joined, please do drop a like on the stream, subscribe, and if you're watching over on X, make sure you're following the Stonksy page and head over to the YouTube channel as well. But yeah, we still have got 23 viewers, which is good on YouTube. Don't know how many we've got on X because it doesn't tell you live, but we have had 1,400 total views, which is very nice. You're getting a call, mate?
Oh no. 0800. No idea who that is. It's probably 3. I've been my daughter's phone's come to the end of its contract, and like, they are so naggy to sort of get me to renew the contract, and I don't want to renew it,
Yeah.
I just keep saying no. I just want to transfer it to Smarty because I hate being under contract, Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was irrelevant, wasn't it?
That's fine. We've had a lot of irrelevant stuff on this stream, haven't we, today? Nick, how we doing? Great to see you. The big boy Solana trader from in the Stonksy Discord. How are we, mate? Crypto Nate, I've not seen you in a while, mate, I don't think. What's up? Thank you very much for joining. Great to see you. And BPN says adding to winners is very powerful. Yes, it is. Save knows all about that because you've got a very nice Bitcoin trade on, haven't you? That you've had open since a lot lower down that you've added to. So
I have. That's my entry is not so good now. The entry is 103,225.
oh, that's a nasty 1 minute candle. We're now down to 108k nearly. That was a big push down. So
okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see what happens here, because are we going to get kind of, obviously, May has been great, hasn't it? We've had continuation of what started in April, and we've had a new all-time high. Part of me does wonder, are we going to maybe get like a kind of end of month flush of long leverage? I don't know. And then maybe continuation higher in June. There's so many possibilities. It's unbelievable. But yes, good old Nick and the legendary Solana trader. Weird ETH strength right now. It is strong, isn't it? Yeah, we've been looking at that throughout the stream. I think max pain is 103-ish for a super summer pump. I could see maybe 101. I've looked at 101 or 102 as potentials as well. If we go on the 1 hour chart. So I've looked at 10. I mean, this is obviously the first kind of pointers coming sweeping, last week's. I think, is that last week's? No, that's not. It's not last week's lows, but it's the lows of the weekend, and then what was put in on Friday as well. So there's obviously build up of liquidity here down to kind of like 105, but then you've got just all these lows waiting to be swept here, which could take it anywhere, down to 102, maybe 101, maybe even to 100, as a potential pullback. On the opposite side, we could just do what we looked at before, where we come and grab liquidity from down or up, and then maybe just reverse to the other side. But it's only as low. I mean, even with this fall off, it's only as low as it was yesterday morning. So it's not really gone anywhere. But yeah, ETH struggling at that point again. Obviously, we didn't get quite in there, but we pretty much got there into this kind of zone that I've been looking at as resistance. We pretty much got there again and rejected. Obviously, kind of brought on by Bitcoin dumping. But it looks like, just at the moment anyway, the stars aren't quite aligning, are they, for ETH to expand again?
Not quite, no. That does it like a level of interest, though, doesn't it? That 2660.
Yes, definitely. It looks on it, yeah.
So, yeah, that is, yeah.
We've got Dunderfunder saying, I want to move to Portugal in the future, living in the Netherlands at the moment. Yeah, I mean, I've never been to Portugal, but I would love to go. And it definitely looks like a nice place to live. Loki says 103 is the origin candle for this move up into new all-time highs, so we could see a rebalance back into there. Yeah, definitely could see that. I would I've got that marked out as a potential scenario. We'll just have to see, won't we? We'll have to see. At the moment, we've not really gone anywhere. We are just still chopping around, aren't we? But the S&P is... If the S&P keeps dumping, then yeah, maybe Bitcoin just rolls over. But yeah, big thank you to everyone that's joined today. Do make sure, if you haven't already, do smash the like button. Do make sure you subscribe. And of course, check out Stonksy. The channels that we've ran through today are the latest edition and the latest update. And users get updates for free. It is part of the package. So you can get 20% off the monthly plan. It's the second link in the description. The discount code is there, but it's also on the website at the top here, bot20. It's the monthly plan you want, this one. And that will take 20% off your first month, so you can come and have a go of it and see what all the fuss is about. For 20% off your first month, you get access to the indicator, the oscillator, the Discord server, and the trading bots. But if you are fancying just wanting to try out the oscillator, there is a video coming out on that today on the Stonksy channel, and there is a Medium article that SMFC is going to post today or tomorrow. We have got a limited time offer, as it with being a standalone product now. £37 a month. You get oscillator and Discord access. So what is the oscillator? It's this at the bottom here. But yeah, there is some good content coming out for explaining how to use that and how it's beneficial on its own. So do come and grab one of these plans today. You do get Discord access on this oscillator one, but you don't get access to the main indicator or the bots. But yeah, thank you very much. It says Medium article is going to be tomorrow. Found an interesting alternative strategy while creating it. So yeah, no worries, mate, no worries. But yeah, big thank you to everyone that's joined today, and catch you all on tomorrow's stream. Bye for now.
Bye.